The lights are out, footsteps echo down the hallway, and once again, nobody is safe. Terrorscape is back with a standalone sequel that can also be combined with the original content. A new map, 3 new killers, 5 new survivors, new winning conditions, and more await in Terrorscape 2. We are lucky enough to have a preview prototype of the game, so let's see how it plays, what is new, and all the cool stuff you'll find inside the box. Of course, as a prototype, it's an incomplete version of the game, so keep that in mind during the video. Terrorscape is a one versus many horror game for 2 to 4 players. On the one side, we have the player who plays the killer, and on the other side, we have the rest of the group who plays the 3 survivors. No matter the number of players, there are always 3 survivors in the game. It is a hidden movement game, and the screen works perfectly as cover and as an area on which the shared information gets tracked. It also looks great and adds to the thematic experience. During the game, the killer is trying to find the survivors and kill one of them in order to win. The survivors are trying to hide as best they can and fulfill one of their 4 winning conditions before the killers find them or they run out of time. The killer performs actions through a deck of cards that is specific to each killer. Through these cards, they move around the map, search for the survivors, block passages, spread fear, and more that depend on the type of the killer. All of that in an attempt to find and kill one survivor, or at least not allow them to leave before the time runs out. The noise that the survivors make is the only information they have in order to find them. The survivors take their turn together as a team and can perform one main action each in any order. They also have access to extra actions and special abilities. Through their actions, they move around the map, gain items and keys, repair the radio or the vehicle to plan their escape, perform special actions that can be found on items or be survivor-specific skills, remove block tokens that may have been placed by the killer, and remove fear that they may have accumulated because of the killer's actions. All of that in an attempt to avoid getting caught and escape in time. A lot of these actions make noise that may alert the killer on the whereabouts of one or more of the survivors. The 2 sides keep taking turns like that until one of them wins or until the time runs out, in which case the killer automatically wins. If you are already familiar with Terrorscape, let's also take a look at all the changes and additions that the sequel brings. First of all, Terrorscape 2 comes with 3 new killers, from which the prototype only includes 1, 5 new survivors, a completely new map, and new decks of items. Obviously, all of those introduce new minor rules and interesting twists that increase the variety within the game. While the core of the game remains unchanged, there are now 2 additional winning conditions for the side of the survivors. The first of those 2 is to repair the vehicle, refuel it, and use it to escape. This works very similarly to the radio repair, so it feels very familiar for those who have played the original game. The second one is the new exciting part of the game, since the survivors can now attempt to completely turn the tide and kill the killer. Keep in mind that this is not easy to do, and it won't usually be the best course of action for the survivors. It is though perfect if nothing else seems to work, and they want to go all in and try to do the impossible. If they're going to go out, they can at least do it in their own terms. And who knows, maybe they will succeed and have a truly unique story to tell. Terrorscape 2 takes everything good we experienced in the original game and adds on top of that in a way that doesn't feel overwhelming. The new content can be freely combined with the original content, so mixing the survivors, the killers, and the maps increases the variety without adding any additional rules. It is also a standalone game, so if you want to jump straight into this without having the original one, that's great too. It's up to you to decide how you want to get into the world of Terrorscape. The new winning conditions are super fun and add to the unpredictability of the survivor side without adding too many new rules. The vehicle works very similar to the radio, so basically it splits up the attention on 2 opposing sides of the map. Doing both would probably require too much time, but if you focus on only one of them, you'll probably make too much noise on one side of the map and give plenty of opportunities for the killer to strike. Together with the keys, there are now plenty of options, but choosing one and seeing it to the end is not as easy as it sounds. The final showdown, on the other hand, gives a unique opportunity to the survivors to strike back and kill the killer. Who could have seen that coming? It's not as easy as it sounds, though. It's more like a Hail Mary if everything else fails and the survivors choose to go out in a blaze of glory. Or not. Maybe the killer is having a very rough day that is about to get even worse. There is a process that leads up to that includes finding the killer's weakness, which is done by using some cool 3D glasses that are always fun to use, gathering a bunch of items that you'll need for the final showdown, and making sure that all 3 survivors are in the same room as the killer at the same time. Once the survivors commit to that, there is no going back, so make sure you are ready and equipped for what is about to follow. In that final showdown, one side is going down and the game ends one way or another. Both of these options elevate the game and make it feel different every time. Even if the final showdown doesn't always come up, the fact that it exists is enough to add variety to the game. If you're feeling brave, you can always make it your life's goal to achieve a victory in this way and see how well it goes. It's a great addition to the game that becomes even better for players who like experimenting and testing their limits. I wish I had more to say, but as we said at the beginning, this is a prototype version of the game and it doesn't include everything. It sure made us curious about everything else that will be included in the final box though. I'd also like to mention that even in the prototype version, the quality of the tower and the screen feels better, the assembly was easier, and the final result is much sturdier than the original game. It's natural to assume that this is going to be true for the final version of the game as well. Not that the original one wasn't good enough, but somehow this is even better. Now, if you haven't played the original Terrorscape and you're simply here wondering if you should go for it now that the opportunity will come up again, let's go through some general information that may be useful for you specifically. First of all, obviously you'd have to enjoy the theme and the hidden movement aspect of the game. If you're worried about too much gore or too much horror, I would say don't be. It's up to the group to decide how much of that they want in the game. I don't even think that the art has any blood on it. It sure enough has some scary aspects to it, but the style is not very realistic, so that keeps everything toned down. Surprisingly enough, the game does not require a huge table to fit it. While it looks stunning and the screen is very imposing, the actual play area is very reasonable. It looks larger than it actually is, and it is very well designed to keep all the information you need in places that are easy to see and find during the gameplay. It's also quite fast to set up, and it plays very fast as suggested on the box. It plays well at all player counts, even if the atmosphere is a bit different with more players as the survivors. Even as a single player though, it's very easy to manage the 3 survivors, and it's probably optimal if you go for strategizing and planning. It does make the game a bit more quiet though. With more players as the survivors, there are quiet whispers, silent arguing, and a lot of gestures. All of that make it interesting for the killer to observe and gather clues from when it's not their turn. Now, there has to be a lot of trust among the players and good focus so that mistakes are not made, especially on the survivor's side. There is no way for the killer to check if everything is done according to the rules, so you need to be extra careful with that. Now, if you can't trust your own friends to play fairly, that's a whole different story. All of these are true for both versions of the game, and if you're here wondering which one you should try first, we'd probably suggest this one. It doesn't add too many additional rules, so it's not like you would have to start at the beginning and ease your way up. At the same time, it offers a better gameplay, and if you find yourself enjoying that, you can always get more content to mix and match for more variety. We hope that all of your questions have been answered, whether you were looking for a new game to try or you were just here to see the differences that Terrorscape 2 brings to the table. If there is anything else you'd like to know, leave your questions in the comments below. If you found this video useful, leave a thumbs up before you go and subscribe for more videos like this. I hope to see you on the next one. Until then, bye.